Welcome to Celebrate a Sister podcast. I'm your host, Emma Walkinshaw. I'm a transformational coach. I facilitate the Clarity Catalyst. I'm the founder of Morning Magic Membership. I also lead retreats here in Australia and internationally. I love all things self-mastery, mindset, and personal development. Here on this podcast, I bring you some pretty exceptional women. We talk all things creativity, business, love, life, and moving forward with self-awareness. I also come to you from time to time with a solo podcast with lots of life according to Emma moments where I share some tools and also some, hopefully, inspiration for you to take the next step. Thanks for being here. Welcome to Celebrate a Sister podcast. I'm your host, Emma Walkinshaw. This is the first podcast of 2024, so a big warm welcome and a happy new year to you. Of course, this podcast is themed all around New Year's resolutions or finding your word or feeling for the year. And I found it quite fitting, and I actually love the fresh energy of a new year and wanted to chat with you about the difference between having New Year's resolution or having a word, or even it's not even a word. I say it's a feeling for the year or a theme for the year. I'm sure that you have all at some point in time had a beautiful big long list of New Year's resolutions. I know that in the past, I've definitely had a list as long as my arm. I wanted to go to the gym 5 times a week for an hour. I've wanted to lose weight, be a size X, Y, or Z. I've wanted to learn to surf. I've wanted to travel more. I've wanted to buy another house. I've wanted to buy a jet ski, get my boat license. I've wanted to grow my business, add to my superannuation. I've wanted to connect with family and friends. I wanted to learn to Latin dance. I've wanted to even try a new language. I've definitely put on my list. I've wanted to journal more and meditate more. So many things on the to-do list, it feels like. It feels like the New Year's resolution is just one big long to-do list that is a box-ticking exercise. And as our darling Danielle Laporte says from the Desire Map, she says, then it becomes a goal without a soul. So it's purely just popping down a list of things. And it's a bit how I feel when I've put that goal, the resolution year and year again about losing weight and getting to the gym. So if I even think about the energy of that when I've put time into a New Year's resolution, the energy behind that's really been, Emma, you need to whip yourself into shape. So this year you need to do some more punishing of yourself and depriving of yourself. So, this year I'm really shifting from that self-punishment to self-nourishing, which is definitely the energy of having a word or a feeling for the year as opposed to a list. And look, I know some of you love a good to-do list. And yes, a to-do list is fabulous, keeps us on track, keeps us from procrastinating. However, I'm not so sure it's all that helpful when you are wanting to feel a certain way. It more feels like you need to push through and get these things done to say that you had a great life. At the end of the year, though, how do you feel when you haven't hit those things? And I know that my experience in the past was I would get to the end of the year and nope, I didn't get to the gym 5 times a week. And you know what? I don't even like the gym, but I put it down because that's the thing to do. I also would feel disappointed if I hadn't hit my savings goal. I would feel disappointed if I hadn't lost weight. That old chestnut on the list every year. Be this size, lose weight, this is your year. It's a load of bollocks. It's a load of crap. And this is the thing that I think we've done, the fresh energy comes in for the year. We're full of vigor and excitement. We go and set ourselves this massive to-do list. We usually fall off, 4 weeks in. And then, of course, it's time just to punish ourselves and talk smack about ourselves and say how shit we are. This whole old way of doing things, it's time to move on. Well, that's life according to Emma. That's what I believe anyway. So what's the alternative? or the softer way, as opposed to the punishing way? What's the nourishing way? I believe the nourishing way is to choose a word, a feeling, or a theme for the year. And then from that place, you get to choose activities that actually get you that feeling. Because the other thing around setting goals or New Year's resolution, have you ever actually done the thing that you wanted to do and then it's been an anticlimax? You go, oh, I did it. But you kind of lost that vigor. You thought it was going to make you feel a certain way and it didn't. I've certainly experienced that. So when we tie our goals, when we give our goals a soul, which is that feeling that you want to get, then you start to say yes and no to things in life that really get you that feeling. Danielle Laporte's book, Desire Map, is a tremendous read. And she actually says that we have around 5 core desired feelings. So feelings that we want to feel. And it's our whole life is driven by the desire to get these feelings. So an example, one of my core desired feelings is to feel alive. I love to feel alive. So for me, feeling alive is driving down the highway with my music on and the roof off of my beautiful BMW convertible and singing at the top of my lungs. I feel alive. When I'm in the ocean with friends swimming, I feel alive. There are so many things that I do that make the feeling of aliveness very apparent in my body. Connecting with people, having really genuine conversation and talking about high vibe stuff makes me feel alive. The work that I do in the world, I feel alive. When I'm coaching and I'm leading retreats and going to all these beautiful countries, I totally feel alive. So thinking about that's just one of my core desired feelings. So yes, we can have our 5 core desired feelings, but then each year you may want to choose a word that is a theme that's probably closely linked and closely tied to one of your desires. I studied the core desire mapping facilitation a few years ago with Danielle Laporte, and the work that I teach now very much is influenced by her work. And of course, I've adapted it to my own creativity and my own uniqueness. But I do love the premise around finding a word for the year. So in the past, we've done our New Year's resolution, and we've either gone and ticked all those boxes and not quite got the feeling that we wanted, or we've beat ourselves up and punished ourselves because we didn't do what we thought we should do. When we choose our word for the year, it's not as simple because it takes a little bit to dig deep and work out actually what is the feeling I want to feel. And straight away, the process that I teach, straight away, a lot of people will get to the surface stuff, which is I want to be happy. I want to be peaceful. I want to be content. And yes, of course you do, but it's a real mother statement. You've got to dig a little deeper and be willing to really self-inquire and become self-aware till you hit that actual feeling or theme for the year. And you will know it. I have seen women go through this process and you actually see it when it drops in. It's quite a visceral feeling. You feel it in your body and you go, boom, that's the word. That's the feeling. That's what I want this year. And then once you've got your theme and your word through the year, you then choose to do things that get you that feeling. So it's really easy to say no to things if it's not honoring that feeling. You know that potentially you are people pleasing or you are doing it out of obligation or punishment. It's not a nourishment. It's a punishment choice. So I encourage you to find your word or your theme for the year. I'm going to share with you mine for this year. And I'm quite excited about it because when I took myself through my own process and it landed, I was like, boom, that's it. That's the feeling. So mine is embody, EMBODY, embody. So my work in the world is really about facilitating, guiding, leading and holding space for women who want to really move into a place of self-acceptance, self-respect, self-reliance, raise their confidence and really unlearn all of this bullshit diet culture and unlearn these, what would we say, construct of society that's told us we have to be a certain shape, size, show up a certain way. So for me this year, it's really embodying all that I am, coming forth into the world with my gifts and talents and actually speaking up. So I'm so excited this year to embody my confidence, to embody my self-respect, to embody my own way of showing up in the world, embodying Emma. That is my feeling for the year, and I feel so excited about it. So my darlings, if you are really interested and keen in digging deep and perhaps finding your feeling for the word for the year, your feeling for the year, I am holding Let's Soar in 2024. There is a simple online and very small investment, $44, to spend a couple of hours online where we will go through a beautiful process and you will find the layers and layers and layers underneath perhaps a mother statement feeling, and really dig in and find that one that absolutely hits you in the solar plexus. So then you can move through 2024 honoring how you want to feel, because at the end of the day, how you feel determines so much about the choices you make and the way you move through the world. So there's the invitation, my friend. Come and let me embody my work and share with you all of the beautiful processes that I have in store. I've also got a beautiful project about to happen too. It's called Body Love Revolution, which I'm so excited to bring to you. So there'll be more on that coming soon, but I will be fully embodying the beautiful process of Body Love Revolution. I cannot wait to share some great processes and tips with you all. So join me, my friend, for our wonderful Let's Soar 2024. The link is in the show notes. If you are ready to choose your word or your feeling for 2024, I have on offer 2 workshops to choose from. There is Let's Soar 2024 on Zoom, where we will gather and I will take you through a beautiful process where you arrive at your feeling for the year. There's also the VIP event, which is an in-person run on the Gold Coast. If you go to the show notes, there is a link there. Book your spot, and I cannot wait to see you.